Yo, RX back with another breakdown of UFC Saudi Arabia Adesanya versus Imavov. We back with another breakdown of a card that is it's okay. A few decent fights on it, but overall it's pretty weak. We are going back to Saudi Arabia for the second time, I believe, since would occur Alishkarov, I believe. Which that card was fine. This card's fine. It's not great. It's not terrible. I don't think it's on paper that amazing. Again, a few nice names on it, a few decent looking fights, but overall I don't look at it I don't look at it as holy shit, what a fucking fight. Or what a card, I mean. It's a card, and with the UFC at this point, your expectations have to be fucking as low as possible, so that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting whatever you expect, lower it by 10%. 11 fight card, 2 of them will actually be good fights, the other 9 will be fucking boring. So yeah, you just expect that. That's what I'm expecting. So yeah, it's the UFC. You have no expectations, and it's always fucking somehow, no matter how low the expectations are, they're always gonna undershoot it. So they suck. The UFC's fucking terrible, and I don't really care that they're back. I don't care about this card at all. I don't care about the UFC. I think they're a fucking joke until they prove me otherwise. Fuck them. I care about the Royal Rumble on Saturday night. Dude, this garbage is lucky it's in the morning, because if it was at the same time as that, I know what's gonna be on in the background. It's gonna be this garbage, so yeah. But yeah, we're back. The UFC is back after a break. I'm happy to be back breaking down cards. I always love doing that for y'all, but outside of that, I don't give a fuck. Card's gonna suck. A lot of bullshit's gonna go on. It's gonna be boring. A lot of fucking nut cuddling. And I don't care. So I fucking hate the UFC, and fuck them. Outside of that, not very much else I can think to say. It's good to be back, of course, like always, after a week break, after 3-11, and I think we have a good amount of cards in a row now, a good few, so let's see, maybe UFC can finally prove me wrong and earn my respect back, but as of right now, fuck them. So I don't really think that this card's that great. It has some nice names on it that could be in a banger, but with our luck, they won't be. Besides that, ready to break down some fights. I am only 11 fights. We'll see how long this takes. Probably about normal time as always. So let's see if I'm correct on that statement. Let's stop wasting time and let's get into this. Before I do, please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2025 as always. And outside of that, ready to break down some fights? Let's do it. 11 in total in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And we begin in the heavyweight division, a division we have a few times on the card. I think the most fights on the card was 3, unless I'm forgetting something, but unless middleweight has an extra one, which they don't. So yeah, heavyweight's the star of this night, which is rare to even get 1 heavyweight fight, let alone 3. But I guess that happens when 2 of them are low-level fights and the other is decent, so excuse me. Yeah, not very much else to say in that regard. But let's get into our first fight of the night in the heavyweight division. Our first fight of the night and our first fight in the heavyweight division. There we go. As we begin the night with Hamdy, the Hammer Abdelwahab versus Jamal, the Stormtrooper Pogues. Jesus Christ. This is a goddamn PFO prelim. Let's be honest now. What the fuck is this? Fuck it, low level heavyweight, and this is lower than low level heavyweight, Jesus Christ. Let's get into it. Fuck it, it's the UFC, it's gonna suck, so whatever. Let's begin with Hamdy Abdelwahab, our first fighter of the night. The return of Hamdy after a 3-year break. He is 0-1 in the UFC. He did win his debut, but it was overturned because he popped for something. popped for... what did he even pop for? That. He did beat Dontel Mays in a weird fight. A weird fight. I remember that being a weird decision, a weird fight. A lot of fucking weird things about the fight. He's now a UFC level fighter. At least the first time we saw him 3 years ago. Yeah, I doubt he's got better since. So, he's 32 years old. He's very short. He's like 6'2". Cardio, I don't remember being great. I don't remember many things about that Dontel Mays fight. If anything, I just remember it being a slow, shitty fight, and it was a weird decision, so that's all I can remember. He is getting a step down here from Dontel Mays, in my opinion. Jamal Pogues is pretty fucking awful, so we'll see if Hamdy can look better after almost 3-year break versus a step down in competition, so we'll see. It's I would say the only reason it's good to have him back is so he's not just taking a roster spot, not fighting. So, yeah, there's that. Outside of that, I could care less about the fucking Hamdy Abdelwahab. So, we'll see. Maybe he's gotten better, but more than likely he's not that much better, if better at all, than when we saw him against Dontel Mays a few years ago. So, about all I gotta say about Hamdy. To talk about his opponent, Jamal Pogues, who's had a weird UFC career so far, and a weird UFC run. 2-1 in UFC, some fucking how. Coming off Contender Series where he did not deserve a contract. Since getting that contract though, again, he has went 2-1, so I guess he is positive in the UFC somehow. His 2 wins have been Josh Parisian and Thomas Petersen. Yeah, see how he's kind of won fights? Josh Parisian, a fight I don't remember Pogues looking good in at all. I remember him getting like front kicked in the face or whatever. And Thomas Petersen, who we'll talk about later, is not that good. And he lost to McParkin, which that's understandable. McParkin's really fucking good, so I'll give him a break there. Pogues is like so boring. He's slow, flat-footed, doesn't really have power, doesn't go for the kill, gasses out quickly. He's just not a good fighter. He's like, he's just so fucking bad. Like, if he was in any other division, like, if you put a fighter with his skill set in any other division, they are not making it past 2 UFC fights, because they would get cut for being so terrible. Like, I can't even think of a positive in his game. Striking, not great. Cardio, ass. Ground game, not good. Fucking, he's just not a fucking good fighter. He's not a good fighter. The only reason he's here is to fill up fucking heavyweight space, because they need heavyweights on the roster. He's not fucking good at all. Like, in all 3 of his fights, the best he's looked is Thomas Petersen, and he didn't look that great in that fight, so... Yeah, you fraud checked a shitty Thomas Petersen who has no idea how to do anything besides shoot a takedown. And he's not even good at that, so I don't know. I think Pogues is a fucking joke, and I don't think he should be in the UFC to begin with, because what if you watch his Contender Series fight, he does the same thing he does in every fight. Slow, boring, flat-footed. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, he's not a good fighter. Like, I've seen fucking street fighters with more ability and footwork and all that than him. So, he's just big, and that's not even a fucking positive with him. So, I don't know. I think Pogues is a joke, but he could get a win here, because Hamdy is so fucking ass. But, we'll see. Like, this man's really just gonna benefit off the rest of heavyweight being shit. Because he's shit, so... whatever. Jamal Pogues, somehow in his 4th UFC fight. The bands for his fight are pick'em. I think that's still what they're about in that range. If they have changed, I don't remember who the favorite is. I would agree with pick'em. It's low-level heavyweight. Do you really have a good fucking range on who's gonna win this fight? No. Like, if you really look at his fight, can you really tell me one of these guys are hands down better than the other? I can't. Like, from I've seen I remember Hamdy versus Dontel Mays. I remember Pogues' first UFC fights. I don't know, like, I can't really point out anything in either guy's game where I'm like, oh, that's going to be a problem for Pogues, or that's going to be a problem for Hamdy. I just see two shitty fighters who someone has to win. So, I picked a dude who's not fought in 3 years and fucking it wasn't that good when he fought on steroids? Or the guy who does fight, but he's terrible? I don't know. Who am I going to pick here? Give me... God, that was a loud fucking sigh. Give me... I trust Hamdy more, I guess. I think Hamdy has a little more to his game. I think he's fucking hungrier. Like... Well, we know he's hungry, but on that terminology, we know he's fucking been off for 3 years. He's had time to get better if he has. Saudi Arabia is gonna favor him. Egypt, that bullshit. Main reason he's on this card. Probably the main reason they kept him in the UFC. I'll go with Hamdy here. That's who they want to win. That's who I think is a little bit better of a fighter. I could think of more positives in his game, if there are any, than Jamal Pogues, and I think he's gonna win, probably. So I don't like to pick this fight because I think both are terrible, and it's a double-edged sword. But give me Hamdy Abdelwahab, I guess. I think he's a little better, and he should be able to beat the very beatable Jamal Pogues. So just fucking, you don't need to do a lot to beat Jamal Pogues. You just gotta have a fucking brain cell. So, yeah. Give me Hamdy Abdelwahab by decision. I'd be amazed if they were to finish in this fight. Pogues has no finishing ability. Hamdy probably doesn't have any finishing ability. Against an actual fighter. Like, yeah, he's been able to 5 years ago, he was finishing nobodies, but, like, I don't think there's gonna be a finish in this fight. By round 3, it's gonna be dreadful to watch. And we're all gonna have a shit time. This is at 9 in the morning, by the way. Good luck staying up. To start tonight, give me Hamdy Abdelwahab by decision. Do I feel confident? No. I agree with a pick'em completely. It's a pick'em. Flip a coin. Who do you think sucks less? I'm gonna say Hamdy. So, give me Hamdy Abdelwahab by decision. Good luck. Low level heavyweight. Good luck. After that, we head to our second fight of the night. The most random fight ever. This literally looks like a fucking LFA co-main. And then our second fight of the night, we go to, I believe, featherweight, right? Yeah, the featherweight division for a very, very, very low level fight. As we have in our second fight of the night, Bogdan the Unleashed Grad versus Lucas the Lion Alexander. Well, yeah, what a weird fight. We have a debuting guy versus a guy we've not seen since 2023. Weird fight. Weird fucking fight. It's, again, this screams LFA, because I don't think either of these guys are that good. And, yeah, not a fight jumping off the page. At least the Hamdy fight will probably be funny. This is probably the worst fight of the night. Well, yeah, probably. I don't really think highly of either of these two. I think they're both kind of eh. But, who knows? Two bad fighters usually make a good fight. So, we're gonna find out, aren't we? So, with that being said, let's get into it. And we'll begin with the debuting fighter, Bogdan Grad, aka Jake Hadley's fucking brother. It looks, in my opinion, I've always seen that. Bogdan's making a UFC debut, coming in 1-1 off Contender Series, and in his first try he fought Tom Nolan and got knocked out brutally, which that's not aging great. And then his last fight he had a banger with Michael Aswell, a fight that could have went either way, one of the best fights of the season. Michael Aswell should have got signed after that fight as well, but, you know, UFC. They picked Grad, whatever, to get signed, and here he is. He's not that good. He's a fun fighter. He's not a good one. 29 years old. What's the record? Fucking 14-2. Basic record. Like, outside of UFC, he's beaten nobody you have ever heard of. Not even fighting in a top promotion. Fucking Night of Warriors, Cage FC, and fucking Inferno. So, his best win looks to be, what, a 9 in Michael Aswell? So I don't think highly of Grad. The second he fights someone who actually has some striking ability, like a Tom Nolan, who I think sucks, but he at least can throw a counter, will kill Grad pretty easily, like Tom Nolan did. Bogdan's just not that great of a fighter. Again, he's a fun fighter, but is he like gonna be a guy who's gonna ever be called a prospect? Not in my opinion. I think he's very bleh. I don't think highly of him. I don't think he's that good, and I don't think if they start giving him legit fights, he's gonna lose. So I think he has no chance against a lot of dudes at 145, even the lower level dudes, like a fucking William Gomez Price fucking smokes him. So, like, again, he's a fun fighter, but that's about the nicest thing I could say about Grad. He seems to have a little bit of power in his hands. His striking's okay. His defense ain't. A little bit of a ground game, okay cardio, good heart. Like, again, chin's a little iffy. He's a fighter, a fun one, but I don't think much of him as a fighter overall, skill-wise. And again, I don't think he does a lot in the UFC, so maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out. Definitely talk about his opponent, Lucas Alexander, who we've not seen in a long time. Alexander is 1-2 in the UFC. English. He came in on short notice in his UFC debut against Joanson Brito and got smoked in 2 minutes. No shame there. Then he fought Steven Petersen and beat him pretty soundly. Okay, that was a nice performance. And then he turns around and gets knocked the fuck out by Sergei, a guy who just lost to Weston Wilson like last year. Yeah, this dude ain't good. He's not that good. Like, his striking, kind of another guy like Jamal Pogues, who's just not a finisher. At least in the UFC, I haven't seen it. Like, against Steven Petersen, he beat the shit out of him, and he couldn't really. I feel like he didn't even like fucking ever get a chance. Like, never had the ability to finish him. Like, his striking's not great. Defense clearly ain't great. Sergei can clip you. Ground game, not much to speak of from what I remember. This guy, I think Jamal Pogues might be a better fighter, because I don't even know what this guy can do. Like, I truly don't even know what, like, positive I can think of with Lucas Almeida. Or Lucas Alexander. Almeida, I think, someone else. Like, he's got time off, so he's gonna be, like, fresh. But, like, he's 29 years old, comes from Fusion X, which is a decent camp. Pretty lengthy dude, 5'11", at 145, but clearly that's not a good thing. We'll talk about that in a second. He's not a great fighter. He's beat nobody. Jacob Kilburn was in the UFC, but was in the UFC is the key word. And you lost to Sergei, so I think that's enough of my points proven. 8-4, one of the most fucking AI generated records possible, and he's just not that good. Like, he might be the worst fighter on the card, and that's impressive, so not much to say about Lucas. Not that good. Not that good at all. The betting for site have Bogdan Grad -125 to +105. With some additional details I'll add in a second. I say Grad should be like minus almost 200. He should win this fight. Like, I think he's better on the feet. I think he has more of a ground game. I think he has better striking. I think he has more power. I think he's more well-rounded. I think he's just a better fighter. And the reason I want to bring up another reason I think those odds I think you can even boost that to minus 250. Lucas Alexander missed weight for this fight because they did. I know that because they did the weigh-ins a few hours ago because they're in Saudi Arabia. So he's the only fighter to miss weight, and that's back-to-back fights now. He's missed weight, so clearly this is a bad weight cut for him. So he's fucking deflating himself to make weight, and he's not even doing it right. His chin's weak. He's not that good as it is. Not a lot of good things here for fucking Lucas, so it's hard not to pick Grad here. Like I said, I think he should be like minus 200, 250 even. Definitely a lock of the night option. He's not my pick for lock of the night, but he definitely is high on the list. I really just don't really see Alexander doing anything that really gonna fuck up Grad. I think Grad's better everywhere. I think he should win pretty easily, so my pick here is going to be Bogdan Grad. And I'm feeling a finish, especially with another weight missed from Lucas Alexander. 8 KO, 6 in the first, 2 in the second. What's Alexander's fucking finishing, getting finished ability? 1. He really likes to get finished in the first round. I don't know what's Grad's last finish. Probably right before the UFC, yeah. Give me Bogdan Grad by knockout in the first or second. I'm gonna say the probably first round. If Sergei can get you out there in the first round, a guy who I think is levels above Sergei, and Bogdan Grad should do the same. So, give me Bogdan Grad by knockout in the first. Maybe I'll change that to second round. We'll see. Either way, I think he should wipe the floor with Almeida pretty quickly, because I keep saying Almeida. Alexander's just shit. Again, I don't think he's a UFC caliber fighter. I don't think Grad is much either, but I think Alexander makes Grad look like fucking Stephen Thompson. So, yeah. Give me Bogdan Grad by knockout in the first. Should be a very, very easy night for him. And again, definitely a lock of the night option. So, yeah. Second pick of the night, first finish of the night, Bogdan Grad by knockout in the first. After that, we head to our third fight of the night, and a history-making fight, and a weird one that on paper looks fucking weird. Like, when they booked this, I was like, huh? And then our third fight of the night, in the women's flyweight division, we have a history-making fight between Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Mayra Silva. Why do I call this fight history-making? Because it's the first female fight in Saudi Arabia. Clearly, obviously, they don't allow some things over there because they're fucking weird. And, yeah, finally the shitholes making some fucking logic and letting the females go over there and fight. In the WWE, they let the females finally go wrestle over there a few years ago. Now they can go fight. Good job, dickheads. It only took you 30 years to do some fucking common sense, but you know. Yeah, weird. This fight should probably be higher on the card. This could even be on the main card if they wanted a 6-fight card. But, you know, UFC books shit on the dumbest way possible, so. Pretty good fight here. Definitely the best fight so far, and definitely contender for the best prelims, this or the next one in my opinion. And yeah, I'm excited for this fight. I think it's a really intriguing fight, and again, when they booked it, I was really confused. The fight just really would never pop into my mind, but they're doing it, so let's see what happens. And we'll begin this breakdown with the actual flyweight in this fight, Jasmine Jasudavicius. Jasmine in the UFC is 6-2, coming out Contender Series. In the UFC, she has beat Kay Hansen, Gabriel Fernandez, Miranda Maverick, Cachoeira, Fatima Klein, and Ariane Lipski. Her only losses are Natalia Silva and Tracy Cortez. A lot of her wins have actually aged pretty fucking well lately. Fernandez, that win is aging beautifully. Fatima Klein's a great win. Fucking Miranda Maverick's always going to be a good one to have. Yeah, Cachoeira and Lipski suck, but what can you do? Jasmine's a good fighter, man. People really forget about Jasmine. Like, she's active, she fights a lot, she's exciting. She's the best Canadian fighter in the UFC. She's really forgotten at 125, which I get because the 125 has a lot of bullshit going on right now. But, like, Jasmine's definitely, like, the dark horse of the division, it feels like, because she is good. Her striking has got better, but it's still not a strong suit. If she's fighting a lesser striker, her striking is not bad. But if she's fighting someone who can actually strike, like, she definitely has problems. Even though she did outstrike Miranda Maverick, so what did I tell you? Her ground game's where it's at, though. She's a mauler. If she gets you down, you're gonna get fucking beat up badly. It happened to Cachoeira, Fernandez, Lipski. Like, she takes you down and she fucking mauls you. She's gonna cut you open, she's gonna hurt you, she's not gonna really gas out, and she's really fucking good. She's really good. Their biggest red flag I can see of her outside of her striking being kind of shitty is she's 35 years old. And even then, that's clearly not a big problem so far. So, she's a solid fighter. Again, I think she's a dark horse of the division. No, she's not going to win the belt. No, she's not going to be top 5. But she's decent enough to win some fights, man. She's definitely could climb into the top 10. And she's kind of just taking a step back here for no reason, so... This fight's kind of pointless for her. It's kind of a stupid step back in my opinion, but she wants it. It's a pretty easy win on paper in my opinion, and... It's another win, so can't really complain. 35 years old, gonna go on a 4-fight winning streak after this. Fucking, she's good. Like, again, her striking is kind of weak, but she's good everywhere else, and she's gonna fucking... And even in this fight, I think she's a better striker by a mile, so... I really don't think she has to worry about much in this fight outside of, like, one thing, and I'll get to that in a minute. But outside of that, and well, actually, that one thing got nullified by lesser grapplers, so we'll see what happens, but I think Jasmine's kind of forgotten, underrated. She's gonna remind people again why you shouldn't do that. To talk about her opponent, Shitara, Mayra is moving back down to flyweight for this fight for the first time in a few years, which I think is stupid. She's 5'4", 1-1 in UFC, and she has lost all her fucking hype. Like, her UFC career went like this. She started down at flyweight, went 2-1. Then she went up to bantamweight, won 4 in a row, beating Holly Holm, Lena Landsberg, etc. And then she got the title shot, lost to Pennington, and then just got beat by Macy Chasson, which I predicted. And now she's making a desperate move down to 125 again, which I think is a stupid fucking idea. And it's gonna probably end in a stupid fucking way. I don't get why she moved down. She could have easily fucking fought a layup like a Misha Tate or something at bantamweight and got back on track. Why would you go down a weight class and fight one of the tougher matchups for you? Like, this is a stupid fucking fight for Mayra. Like, I don't get why you would take this fight, why you would move down to begin with, and it just seems like a fucking stupid move. It just seems like it's gonna backfire. Like, I say this with all the desperate fighters who move down a weight class on a losing streak. I don't see how it helps you. Like, very few times have I seen it actually help anyone. And I don't think it's gonna be good for Mayra. She looked good at bantamweight. She's just not good enough to fight the top contenders. I still think she can beat the shitty fighters like Julia Avila and fucking Misha Tate. But yeah, you can't beat Chasson or Raquel Pennington, who are the fucking top of the weight class. Oh no. So I really don't get this move down for Mayra. I think it's a kind of dumb idea and is kind of throwing away your ranking at 135. Like, you're still in the top 10 at bantamweight, so... And you haven't fought most of the weight class, so fucking fight them. But whatever, you want to take this risk down at flyweight, do it. I think it's stupid. I think it's going to end as well as your first run at flyweight did, but what do I know? What I do know is Mayra Silva is kind of like Jazz in a way as a fighter, but I feel like a lesser version. I think her striking's even worse. I think her grappling her offensively is not bad, defensively is horrendous. Her cardio kind of sucks. I think her fight IQ is not that good. I think mentally she's kind of easily to be shaken if you watch the fucking Pennington fight at times. I just don't think of her as I don't highly think of her as a good fighter. I don't think of her highly as a good fighter. There we go. She's a submission specialist. That's all she can really do. She's never gonna knock you out. She's never gonna ground and pound you. Not often is she going to win a decision. If she does, she's just going to lay on you. She's going to try and snap your fucking arm or grab a neck, and that's it. That's about the wide variety of her fucking moves. Outside that, there's just not much for her to do. Like, again, I think Jazz is a lot more well-rounded as a fighter, and I don't even think she's that well-rounded as a fighter. Just Mayra can't do anything outside of submissions, so... We'll see if she proves me wrong here. Maybe this move down, she's had some time off. Maybe she's a different fighter, but I can kind of guarantee you she's not. I guarantee you she's the same submission reliant fighter she was at bantamweight. So she's just not that well-rounded or good. So, and now she's fighting someone who stylistically is fucking awful for her. Good luck, Mayra. You're gonna need it. And the betting odds agree with having Jasmine Jasudavicius minus 225 to plus 185, which is rare because they never let Jasmine be a favorite. She's always the underdog somehow. But even they see the writing on the wall here that Jasmine's better. I agree with those betting odds. You could have her minus 250. The only thing you can fucking pray for if you pick Mayra Bueno Silva is a fucking submission when Jasmine takes her down. If she takes her down, she might just beat her on the feet. So Jasmine is just better on the feet, better cardio, better ground, better. Like, Mayra's path to victory is an early submission that I think is going to be a pain in the ass to get because Jasmine's never been fucking submitted. And she's really, really good on the ground. So, good luck, Mayra. I don't think you're going to pull this one off. I think this is a desperate, bad move, and especially taking a matchup like this. So, good luck. You're going to need it. My pick's going to be Jasmine Jasudavicius by decision. I don't see how Mayra really wins this outside of a fluky fucking submission. So, we'll see if I'm wrong, but I have a strong feeling I'm not. So, again, just like Bogdan Grad, I think Jasmine's another lock of the night option. She's not my pick, but I think she's another option. Like, she should win. So, that simple. Terrible matchup. It is just the definition of a bad matchup, so I'm gonna pick the person who is a good matchup for. Give me Jasmine Jasudavicius by decision to win 4 in a row. Outside of that, not very much else to say. Happy they're getting to fight in Saudi Arabia for the first time. That's a cool moment. And go get that win, Jasmine, because you should. After that, we head to our 4th fight of the night. Not a lot to say about these last few prelims. I don't think they're very good, and I think they're kind of easy to predict. Well, at least 2 of them are easy to predict. The other one's just not very good. As in our 4th prelim of the night, this one's really good, though. As in our 4th prelim of the night, a finish is guaranteed here. As we head to the lightweight division for Terrance T-Rex McKinney versus Damir, the Boston Bomber Hadžović. You know you're gonna get a finish when Terrance McKinney's on the card. He should be higher on the card. Again, this could be on the main card as well with how good we know it's gonna be. Again, Terrance McKinney gonna give you a finish. It might be him getting finished, but still, someone's gonna get finished. Not really a lot to say about this fight. It's not gonna go past the first round more than likely, and if it does, then I don't know what the fuck's going on. So let's find out what's gonna happen. Even though I think a lot of us can take a guess. I think it's one of the easiest fights on the card to predict, but let's find out. Let's talk about T-Rex first. T-Rex is 5-4 in the UFC. We know his UFC career by now. It's been a fucking up and down. Started UFC on a hot streak, winning 2 in a row against Matt Frivola and Ziam. Then got fed to Drew Dober, even though he almost won that fight. Got fed Eric Gonzalez. Got fed to Ismail Bonfim and Ziam Sadikov. Got fed Mike Breed and Brand Marat, and then had to fight Esteban Ribovics. So he gets handed layups and then fights fucking a hard ass matchup. That's been his UFC career. Like, his best one's Firas Ziam, who we'll talk about later, and that's aged really good actually. But outside of that, he's beat I don't think anyone he's beat enough for Frivola still in the UFC, but for how long? McKinney's a good fighter for the first 2 minutes. Like, he has great power in his hands. He has really good striking. He has a little bit of a ground game early in the fight, but after that, not really. But then we move into his cons. He gasses super quickly. His chin ain't very strong. To go back to the cardio, he only has about a half a round of cardio, which is fucking terrifying. And he's really easy to game plan for. Just don't get hit early and you'll win. Dude never went to a decision. I don't think he's ever even been in the 3rd round once. So what does that tell you? He's a finisher, and we'll see. Maybe he's gotten better in the close to a year off he's had. I doubt it. I guarantee you he's still Terrance McKinney. But you never know, do you? You never know, so. We'll see what T-Rex brings to the table. Usually we know, and I can take a guess, it's still the same. Kill or be killed. And usually he's the one doing the killing, especially when he's fighting a Kaan. Luckily enough, he's fighting a Kaan. To talk about his opponent, Damir Hadžović. Damir in UFC is 4-5. And that 4-5 is many years ago. His wins in UFC have been Marcin Held. Who the fuck is Marcin Held? Nick Heen, who? Polo Reyes, and Yatsi Medeiros. His losses have been, I'm not even going to try that name, Alan Patrick, Christoph Giagos, Hanato Moicano, and Mark Diakese. Yeah, this motherfucker's not fought in a long time. Last fight, July 2022 against Mark Diakese. Jesus Christ. And he's not a young guy who can take a break like that. He's 38 years old. So, you know, great. I really don't even remember seeing Damir fight. I remember the Moicano fight and the Diakese fight a little bit. Outside that, I don't remember anything about Damir Hadžović. I remember he's not good. Like, again, your best one is Yatsi Medeiros. You're not lost. Well, you lost to Hanato Moicano and Christoph Giagos, so kind of speaks for itself there. Damir's not very good back then when he was fighting, and you doubt he's got better over 3 years as he's hitting his late 30s, and he's fighting Terrance McKinney. Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall here. Good luck, Damir. The man on first fight have Terrance McKinney not -350. He's up to -500 at this point. He's the biggest favorite on the card, and I get it. I get it. He should win this fight, but you gotta remember who you're talking about. Terrance McKinney, one of the most unreliable fighters possible. Like, I agree he's fighting a Kaan, and he wins those fights every time, but man, it's hard to trust him as a lock. Excuse me. That's why he's not my lock of the night. I think he's gonna win. I'm picking him to win, but I would not have him as the lock of the night, and I would not have him -500. Excuse me. I would have him -400 at the most. I won't have him any higher than that. You gotta remember, again, you gotta remember who, like, as easy as the matchup is for him, he still will find a way to fucking not win as easily. Somehow. So, I like McKinney. I think he's gonna win this fight pretty easily. But I don't trust him with my lock of the night. I've seen him fucking McKinney it too many times. Even a fight he's on pace to win, like the Dober fight, he gasses and gets finished. So, I'm gonna pick him to win. I think he gets the knockout in the first round like he usually does. But is he lock of the night? No. Should he be -500? No. I'd have him 400 at most. Even that's kind of high for a guy who's untrustworthy. And I hope he wins. Again, I would love to see T-Rex get a win and knock out Damir, but I think it will happen. But lock of the night, -500. Terrance McKinney? I don't know about that. Yeah, my pick is going to be Terrance McKinney by knockout in the first, as most people's picks are, but I wouldn't be as confident. I'm not as confident as most people, so I think he's gonna win. But still, even if he wins in the first 90 seconds, yeah, if he wins in the first 30 seconds, I'm still gonna stand by my point. That fight could have went. If they fight 10 times and on McKinney, it goes a different way every time. Not that saying he loses every time, loses those, but he'll find a way to make it weird. So, my pick: Terrance McKinney by knockout in the first. We'll see. I think he's gonna win, but shouldn't be the biggest favorite on the card, and he's not the lock of the night. So, besides that, give me McKinney by knockout in the first, and always good to see T-Rex on the card because you know it's not going 15 minutes. That'll wake everyone up in the morning, which will be great, and then we'll go right back to sleep. Great. As in our 5th fight of the night, we head back to heavyweight for a fight that's as pathetic as the first one, which is impressive. As for our co-main to the prelims in the heavyweight division, our second heavyweight fight of the night, the blob battle as we have in our 5th fight. Shamil Gaziev versus Thomas the Train Petersen. Fuck. These fat motherfuckers with no talent. Ugh, fuck. I fucking hate heavyweight. Like, no, outside Tom Aspinall, no one's good. They're just fat fucks. Like, anyone could be a fucking heavyweight in the UFC. Like, literally anyone. You don't need talent. You need to win 3 fights in semi-impressive fashion on the fucking regional scene. You'll get signed. Or be on a contender series. It's fucking pathetic. These two are fucking awful. But, we gotta talk about it. So let's talk about it real quick. We'll start with the MMA guru himself. As you know, I respect Shamil more as a person and just a fighter. I don't think he's a fucking loser like Guru. Shamil Gaziev, 34 years old. Shamil is 2-1 in the UFC. His 2 coming off contender series. He beat Martin Boudet and Dontel Mays. He lost to Jairzinho Rozenstruik. He's just a fucking blob who takes you down. He's pretty much Alexander Romanov. A little better Alexander Romanov. His strike, he has more striking than Alexander Romanov, but not by much. Like, he's just a fat blob that takes you down. He has no cardio. His striking's If he can hit you, yeah, he has power, but he actually has to hit you. The Jairzinho fight's one of the most pathetic performances I've ever fucking seen. Like, the dude literally quit because he couldn't fucking breathe anymore. He's gonna fucking die if he fought another 5 minutes. He's terrible. He's a terrible fighter, and the second he gets back to fighting fighters, he's gonna get fucking beat. Like, put him in there with Volkov. Volkov might kill him. Tom Aspinall might not even break a fucking sweat. Like, dude, Shamil's ass. So, I get the UFC likes him, fucking build him up. I get he's a meme. He's not good. I will give him this. In his media day photos this week, he does look a lot better. He looks in better shape. That doesn't always mean he'll have better cardio, but he looks in better shape. So I'll give him respect there. But until he's in the cage and I see how he looks, I can't give him full respect. So I give you a little respect for trying to get in shape. What did he weigh in at? I wonder if it was lighter than what he usually weighs in at. Let me go check. So he weighed in at 260. What did he come into his last fights at? I think probably 264, right? 262. Well, he had to be more than that against Jairzinho. He had to be pushing the limit. 260. Oh, so he's in the same. So he must have put on some muscle because he looks different. He looks in a little bit better shape. He looks slimmer for being about the same weight. So we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but he looked a lot better in his weigh-in photos, in his media day photos. I haven't watched the weigh-ins yet. I just know they did happen. I saw what people weighed in at. So yeah. So if he does come in better shape with better cardio and all that, respect. Will he do that? Time will tell. Dude, Shamil with cardio could be scary because he has a good ground game. He's a strong dude. He has power in his hands, but he can't fight for more than 5 minutes, if that. So, and to be honest, I forgot he fought Dontel Mays. I was trying to remember who he fought after Jairzinho before looking. It's like, god damn, he was that boring. He's literally Alexander Romanov 2.0. That's all I see in him. So. That would have been a meme-worthy fight. I would love to see Gaziev and Romanov, but we never got to see it, sadly. It happens. To talk about his opponent, Thomas Petersen, I don't even got much more to say about him. He's 1-1 in the UFC, coming off the Contender Series. In his debut, he lost to Jamal Pogues. Really? And he beat Mohamed Usman in his last fight. Waldo Cortez Acosta he lost to in the regional scene. Good job. That's definitely impressive. Yeah, he's terrible. He's the shittier version of Shamil, to be honest. Like, they're kind of the same fighter, just I think Shamil's a little bit better. Shamil has more striking, more power. He'll actually strike. His ground game's better. His takedown attempts are better. He's stronger. Like, Peterson's literally just a fat white dude. Like, he's just a fat fucking farmer or whatever. Like, he's not good. He's not fucking good. You beat Mo fucking Usman. One of the biggest jokes in UFC history. Good job. Now you're fighting one of the other biggest jokes in UFC history. Just Shamil is levels above Mo Usman, so yeah, not really much I can fucking say, can I? Betting on to have Shamil minus 400. I think he should be lower than that. I would have him minus. I don't think he's in lock territory. I'd give him minus 240. Like, yeah, he should win. I think he's the better fighter. But am I minus 400 confidence? Fuck no. So I think he's about that against fucking Jairzinho. Was he not like a minus 300-400 favorite against goddamn Jairzinho? And a lot of people got burnt there. I swear he's a lot more hyped up than minus 175, but what do I know? What I do know is I'm going Shamil Gaziev by decision. Maybe there's a finish. It's unlikely, because these two fat fucks are probably just going to rub tummies on the ground for 15 minutes. But who knows? Who really knows? Shitty fighters, shitty low level, two fat blobs. Don't care. Give me Shamil Gaziev by decision. Heavyweight MMA. One of the biggest disgraces in the sport. Christ. Shamil Gaziev by decision. One of the biggest disgraces in the sport, right next to Bryce Mitchell. Yeah, a long story, a lot to say there, but fuck him. After that, we end the prelims. I'm pretty sure this is the featured prelim. I'm pretty sure they updated it. Yeah, Topology is wrong here. This is the featured prelim now. It just got moved down from the main card, thankfully. So, thank you. Why did it got moved down for? Oh, Ikram. Yeah, that bullshit. So, thank you. This is not a main card fight. Prelim, fine. These two should be where these two are, but, you know, minor details, I guess. Let's get into our featured prelim in the featherweight division. A pretty low-level fight that I really don't got a lot to say, but we'll talk about it anyway. As in our featured prelim in the featherweight division, we have Muhammad Hillman Naimov versus Kaan Genghis Ofli. It should be awful, but you know. Yeah, this fight's bad. I think both these guys are kind of ass. I know saying that about Naimov is apparently a hot take for some reason, but whatever. Yeah, terrible fight. Terrible fucking fight. Maybe it'll end in a finish, but who fucking knows? Both these guys are coming off losses, for fuck's sake. Fucking Christ. Let's just get this out of the way. We'll begin with Muhammad Naimov. 3-1 in the UFC. Really should be fucking 2-2. And even that fucking Jamie Malarkey win was a questionable stoppage, but I'll at least give him that. He did not beat Nathaniel Wood, and Eric Silva was Eric Silva was an injury, so no contest if anything. So outside of fucking his record being wrong, he's not that good. I've not seen anything like. In his 4 UFC fights, I've not seen anything that impressive from him. In the Malarkey fight, you knocked out James Malarkey, a guy known for having one of the weakest chins on the roster. You lost to Nathaniel Wood if the referee knew what the fuck he was doing. Eric Silva sucks anyway, and you beat him by fucking injury. And then Felipe Lima, you lost to him, which is respectful, because Felipe Lima is amazing. But you lost, so fuck you. So, I don't think high of Naimov. I don't think he's in the caliber of guys like a Nathaniel Wood, someone he's beat, quotation marks. He's on the same level of fucking Bogdan, Grad, and Lucas Alexander. Well, Alexander, I won't go that far, but he's on the same level of Grad. I look at this fight at about the same time I look at the Bogdan Grad fight. Two bad fighters, and it's in the same division. That's why I compare it to that fight, so. These guys are just not good, and yeah, Naimov's the better of the two, but I don't think Naimov's that good of a fighter. So, now his countryman that he debuted on the same card as in Nurmagomedov, I think is better, so, at this point, so, what does that tell you? I don't think highly of Naimov. I don't even respect Naimov, but what can you do? To talk about his opponent, Kaan Ofli. Kaan is making his UFC debut. I believe they're going to look at it as the UFC debut officially. Coming off the Ultimate Fighter, he went 2-0 on the show, of course, beating Nathan Fletcher, who is in the UFC now, but I don't think that's good. And Rody Rhodes, I don't even remember who that is, and I watched that season. And then in the finale, he got fucking flatlined by Marian Santos. or Maran, I think they say it, I don't fucking know, got fucking folded like a deck chair against him. Yeah, Kaan's not good. He's not fucking good at all, to be honest. He's like, that Santos fight was pathetic. He got schooled in every facet of the game, and then he got folded like a goddamn chair, so that tell you. And looking at his fights before the Ultimate Fighter, he beat nobody. Fucking 5-2 and 6-3 were good wins for him. Yeah, this guy sucks. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about Kaan. I think he's a pretty bad fighter. 31 years old. Not exciting, not a finisher. I don't know what to really say. I don't think he's that good. And like, he shouldn't even be in the UFC. He lost the tough finale. Fuck you, you suck, go away. That's how I look at it. But UFC gives participation fucking trophies to people, so what does that tell you? I don't think Kaan's very good, and yeah, about really all I gotta say there. He's just another one of these guys from the Ultimate Fighter that got a contract for participating, like Zach Pounga and fucking Brogan Walker. So what did that tell you? The betting odds for his fight have Muhammad Naimov minus 260 to plus 210. I would have him higher. I would have him minus 400. In fact, Naimov is my lock of the night. I don't see him losing this fight. I don't know how he would lose this fight. I think, like, as little as I think of Naimov, I think he's levels ahead of Kaan Ofli. If anything, I think Grad versus Naimov and Kaan versus Alexander would make more sense. Because I think those two fights are close to how these guys' skill level. Because Kaan and Alexander are just in fucking unwinnable fights, in my opinion. So, what does that tell you? And I'm saying this about Muhammad Naimov, who I think's fucking trash. But, like, dude, Kaan Ofli is fucking pathetic. I don't see him beating Naimov. I don't know how he even can beat Naimov, so give me Muhammad Naimov by decision, lock of the night. I could see a finish, but Naimov's not really a finisher like that. I know he KO'd fucking Malarkey, but that's not impressive. And again, Eric Silva was a fucking leg injury, so take that as you will. Give me Naimov by decision. Maybe a finish is possible. It's very much possible, but overall, give me Naimov by decision. He should win this fight. He's better. And, yeah, my lock of the night, Muhammad Naimov, to win this fight pretty fucking easily. So, yeah, fighting a guy who shouldn't even be in the UFC. What did that tell you? Give me Muhammad Naimov by decision for my lock of the night to end the prelims. Boom, bang, bing, bong. Those are the prelims done and gone. Outside of Jasmine McKinney, it's not a lot to look forward to. That might be fun if it's a finish. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's heavily carried by Jasmine and McKinney. Like, everything else is fucking weak around it, but what can you do? It's the UFC. They booked what they could. To have these two fights there is good. Like, it carries it enough, I guess, to not be the worst prelims, but it's still not good, so 2 good fights, 4 questionable fights, prelims. Now we go on to main card, which I'll say on paper should be really good. It's just we actually have to see it happen instead of just on paper, so problem there. But that's that. That's the prelims done. Let's get into the main card already. 5 more fights. Let's talk about it. And we will begin in the lightweight division with a pretty decent fight. A pretty decent fight that I'm looking at a lot different than most people. But we'll see who's right, me or most people. Usually it's most people, but we'll find out. And then our main card opener of UFC Saudi Arabia, we head to lightweight for a fight between Firas Smile Killer Ziam versus Mike Beast Boy Davis. Decent fight. A decent fight between Ziam, who I think is like getting close to the rankings at 155, and Davis, a guy everyone thinks is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Let's talk about it. We'll begin with Firas Ziam, the guy with all the momentum in the world right now. 6-2 in UFC. His wins have been Jamie Malarkey, Luigi Van Germini, Michael Figlak, Jai Herbert, Claudio Parles, and Matt Favola. His 2 losses have been Don Mage and Terrance McKinney. Has he beat anyone that good? Not really. Malarkey is probably a solid win on his record, and Matt Favola's, we all know the Matt Favola win. Fucking this random decision machine just landing up one of the most devastating KOs of the year for no reason against Matt Favola. But Matt Favola kind of same thing as Malarkey, a guy known for having no chin. So what does that tell you? But he does have a lot of momentum right now. 4 in a row. He has been looking good in those 4 wins, even if they've not been exciting outside of the Favola fight. And he's really making a name for himself. So he has a lot of momentum. Hopefully he doesn't fall in love with the knockout, because we have seen guys do that before. Hopefully he just fights his fight, and we'll see what he can do. A 5th win. If he can get a 5th win here, hard to not put him in a top 15 level fight, so we'll see what Ziam can do, man. They're 27 years old, he's a lengthy 155er, and he has talent. He's just not exciting. For a while he was talented, but boring. Now he's actually being exciting. We'll see what that leads to. He has a lot of momentum right now. Let's see what that means. Let's see if the momentum means anything for the Smile Killer. Talk about his opponent, Mike Davis, a guy you guys fucking hype up like the greatest fighter ever. 4-1 in the UFC. His debut was against Gilbert Burns, where he got smoked, shocker. And then since he's beat Thomas Gifford, Mason Jones, Slava Claus, and Ton Levy. Why do you guys hype him up again? Thomas Gifford, tomato can. Mason Jones, fraud. Slava Claus, he didn't fight him, he cuddled him. Ton Levy, trash. Why do y'all hype up Mike Davis again? I've never seen what the hype is with this guy. He's mid, if that. Like, I don't think he's that good. Like, I think Chris Padilla's better. I think fucking Daniel Zellhuber's way better. Astron Ribovics is better. Like, Mike Davis is shit. I think this guy's fucking terrible. So I don't see the hype with him. I never have, and depending on what he does Saturday, I still might not, because on his little winning streak that spanned a long time, I've not been impressed once. He's beaten nobody. He beat Slava Claus as his best win, who we know is a mid fighter. So, like, it's not even like a hate thing, it's just me being honest. Like, if y'all didn't hype this guy up, no one would fucking know who he is, because he never fights and he's not exciting. So, I don't get what y'all see in this guy. He's not that good. He's not better than a lot of the guys y'all would fucking rank over him for some reason at lightweight, so, or y'all would rank him over, I mean. So, maybe he proves me wrong Saturday night, but he needs to actually do something impressive first. If you just cuddle for Ziam for 15 minutes, that's not fucking impressive. So, fucking Terrance McKinney was able to sub him. Grappling for Ziam ain't impressive. So, do something fucking impressive. Please. Fuck. Outside of that, I don't got much to say about him. I don't think highly of him as a fighter. I've seen better. He's just mid, if that. So, yeah. Deep betting odds first fight have Mike Davis as I think he's like minus 190 now, or he's like at least almost minus 200 for some fucking reason. I don't agree. Ziam should be the favorite. Ziam should win this fight. Ziam's better. Let's compare 4-fight winning streaks. Ziam's fought, better competition, but he's looked better. And it's not been over 60 years. So, Ziam's better. He has more momentum because he actually fights. He's actually exciting. He's coming off a better win. Ziam's better. I'm going for Ziam here. He's the best underdog on the card. I look at this as almost free money. Unless fucking Davis just cuddles him for 15 minutes, Ziam should win. He's lengthier, he's taller, he's fucking better. Get me for Ziam by decision. I don't see what y'all see in Mike Davis. He's not that good. He's not that good. Until he proves me wrong, get me for Ziam by decision. He's better. That's simple. Mike Davis is not the guy y'all think he is. He's a mid-fighter that no one will remember in a year. because he never fights. Because we won't see him fight again until next year. So, and unless if he wins this fight boringly, I don't have any respect for him still. Until he wins a fight excitingly and against someone decent, I don't care. You're not that guy, and Ziam's better. That simple. Give me Frost Ziam by decision. That's underdog on the card by a mile. That simple. After that, we go to our second fight of the main card. A fucking banger in the bantamweight division that I'm very excited for. As in our second fight of the main card at 135, a banger like always at 135. Excuse me. We have Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. What a good fight. Really, 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 really good fight. Like I said, as usual with 135, because you have to try to make a bad fight at bantamweight because everyone's good. So I can't wait for this fight. This is a really interesting fight, and let's see if the Nurmagomedov can end this 3 weekend spread of fights with positive record. Umar lost. Usman, let's see if they can get a win, because they haven't so far, so. Let's see, maybe Said's the key to win, because the guys whose name starts with U suck ass, so. Let's find out. And we'll begin with said Said, because he's our first fighter. Said in the UFC is 7-2. His wins are Justin Scoggins, Ricardo Ramos, Mark Striegel, Cody Stamen, Douglas Silva de Andrade, Sediokub Kakramanov, and Muam Gafarov. His 2 losses have been Ioni Barcelos and Johnson Martinez. Said's been like a really mid fighter in the UFC. Like he gets these layups or these semi-tough fights. He'll win them and he'll lose to a more like closer to a real contender. Like he's had a few decent wins, like Douglas Silva de Andrade, Sediokub Kakramanov, and Muam Gafarov are kind of decent, but outside of that, not really anyone that great. And then every time he's fought up in competition, Barcelos beat him, and Johnson Martinez beat him. So, who are both good fighters. So, what does that tell you? He's not a bad fighter, though he's not good enough to be in the top 15, but he's not bad enough to lose to Cody Stamen and fucking Ricardo Ramos. His striking's decent. His ground game, of course, look at his last name, you know it's decent. Like, he's not as trash as Umar, but that's kind of a low bar. He's fine. He's kind of like Tagir. He's like a little bit better version of Tagir Ulanbekov, and I would say so. He has been off for over a year, so we'll see how he looks in that department. But yeah, I think he's a better version of Tagir Ulanbekov, so we'll see if he can look like it, because he is a decent fighter, but he's like perfectly fine. He's not great, he's not trash, he's there. So let's see what he can do in a really tough fight versus a really scary prospect in Vinicius Oliveira, who we'll talk about now. Vinicius is 2-0 in the UFC coming off Contender Series. His 2 wins have been Bernardo Sopai and Ricky Simon. This guy's fucking good. This kid's good. Striking, really fucking good. Power, really good. Ground game, who fucking cares? Fight. Like, the only problem in this game is fucking he has no idea how to block kicks. Outside of that, striking's great, power's great, cardio's not great. Leg kicks are not his strong suit when it comes to blocking, but outside of that, dude's good. 29 years old. He's not fought in a while, so he's had time to get better. And we'll see if he's ready for a test like this. Said's good. Said's gonna test you. Said's not a walk in the park. We'll see if he gets fraud checked here, man. We'll see. Like, Said's gonna be a tough fight, man. But I think Oliveira has some good tools. Again, striking is really good. He has really good power. But his cardio and his leg kick defense are his 2 problems. So, we'll see if those can hold up. If so, it's gonna be a really interesting night. So, Gonna be really fucking interesting to see what happens in this fight if he can block kicks and not gas out badly, like in in his Simone fight. So, gonna be interesting to see what Vinicius can do. And it's in his second year in the UFC. I'm getting a real fucking test here. The Bangouts first fight have Saeed minus 185 to plus 150. I don't think I would have it like that. I would have this closer to a pick'em. Like, if you want to have Saeed a tiny favorite, like minus 135, sure. But I think this should be closer to a pick'em. I think both guys are good, but it's more we don't know how good Oliveira is. Is he good enough to win a fight like this? Or is he a fraud who will only beat up kind of low-level guys? Even though Sopai and Simone are not bad wins, they're still not wins that jump off the page, you know? So, not saying Saeed really has it either. Again, Douglas Silva, Andrade, Sergio Cup, and fucking Muim Gafarov. Ooh. So they both have, like, solid wins, but neither of them has a great win. And we already know Saeed is just not gonna be a top 15 fucking contender. He's where he's been for most of his UFC career is where he's gonna stay in the top 20 to 25 of bantamweight, but he's never gonna cross that fucking 16th spot because he's not good enough to cross that ranking. So, and then Vinicius, we don't know his ceiling yet. Has he already hit it, or does he have higher to go? Let's find out. Who am I going with in this fight? Give me the underdog. Give me the lock dog. Vinicius Oliveira. I think he can win, man. He's much bigger, I believe. An inch taller. He feels like I swear he feels like he's almost featherweight size, but I guess I'm wrong, maybe because he's fighting shorter guys. I think he can keep it on the feet and win. Like, he has dangerous striking. He has really good fucking power. We'll see if he can keep it on the feet and not fucking gas out. He could win this fight, but the key word, if. Can he stop Saeed's takedowns? We'll see. We know Saeed's gonna shoot. He's the Nurmagomedov. That's all they know how to do. So, we'll see. If Saeed wins this fight, 99% chance is because he cuddled Vinicius for 15 minutes. If Vinicius wins this fight because he stopped takedowns and was able to beat him up on the feet, or knock him out even, which I don't know if he'll do that, but still. It's an interesting fight. It's a great fight. I can't fucking wait for it. But I'm gonna go with the underdog. Give me the prospect. Give me Vinicius Oliveira by decision. Again, will he get fraud checked? We'll find out. I think he has the talent to win this fight. I think he has the ability to win this fight. Keep it on the feet and win. But Saeed is a solid fighter and he might just cuddle him. Hard to tell, man. Hard fight to call. Again, it should be a pick'em in my opinion. And who am I going with? Give me the lock dog, Vinicius Oliveira. Can't wait. What a banger. Give me the underdog, man. Back-to-back underdogs, the two best underdogs on the card. Let's see what happens. Give me the lock dog by decision. Keep it standing and win. 3 more. Here we go. As we go into our third fight of the main card, a banger. We already know this ain't gonna go long because, come on, it's gonna be a fucking car crash. Then our third fight of the main card, heading to heavyweight for the only good heavyweight fight on the card. We have in our co-main to co-main, Sergei Pavlovich versus Biggie Boy Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Someone's hitting the mat in this fight out cold, and I can't fucking wait. I should not have to say a lot for this fight. You know what's gonna happen here. Big Russian versus Big Jairzinho. Someone's gonna hit the mat. Hopefully. Let's talk about these two real quick, and like we even need to, but I still will. So let's do it. We'll begin with Sergei Pavlovich, who has lost all his fucking aura. Goddamn. 6-3 in the UFC, right? Yeah. His wins have been Marcelio Gloom, Marcus Green, Shamil Abdelwahab, Derek Lewis, Tatui Vasa, and Curtis Blades. He lost to Alistair Overeem, Tom Aspinall, and Alexander Volkov. Yeah, he's lost all of his fucking aura. His win streak, man, one of the most aura-filled fighters ever. Shamil, Lewis, Ty, Blades. Dude had aura through the roof. Then he meets a guy named Tommy Aspinall, who drops him in a minute. Okay, it's understandable. Tommy's amazing. Then he meets his former teammate Volkov, who just stays at range and picks at him for 15 minutes. And then he throws a temper tantrum after. Okay, that's not as great. He needs to win this fight. Because again, he's lost all his aura. Like, people forget about him at this point, and now he's back in the category of just hit hard. With Jairzinho, Lewis, Ty, etc., etc. He's not looked at as a top contender anymore, which he shouldn't be. He lost to 2 real top contenders. Now he's in a weird spot. It's like, if he loses this fight, you could just fucking cut him. Or who do you have him fight? If he wins this fight, you still don't know who he fights, but shit. The winner of this fight, good chance they fight Kaan. No, actually, Jamal's gonna fight Kaan, so I have no idea who the fuck is the winner of this fight fights, but that's for the recap on Sunday to talk about. For right now, Sergei just has to focus on winning this fight, so, which should not be too hard, because he's beat guys like Jairzinho before, with Tai Tuivasa and Derek Lewis, who are just like Tai, or just like Jairzinho in the aspect of, we're just gonna throw hands so someone gets killed. And in that kind of fight, Pavlovich is going to win 9 out of 10 times, unless you're Tom Aspinall, who actually knows how to aim his punches, instead of just throw and pray. So, we'll see. We'll see if Sergei can get back on track. He still has that power. Just, is he mentally strong? Doesn't seem like it. And outside of power, does he have any strengths? Fuck no. So, we'll see what he can do, man. Can Sergei get his aura back? I don't think so, but can he get back on track? We'll see. To talk about his opponent, Biggie Boy, Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Jairzinho, crazy how long he's been in the UFC at this point. 9-5 since 2019. His wins have been Junior Alan Crowder, Arlovsky, Overeem, JDS, Sakai, Dawkins, Gaziev, and Tuivasa. His losses have been Ngannou, Kaan, Blades, Volkov, and Almeida. Jairzinho's like the definition of fucking just, I hit hard. Like, that's all his UFC career has been. His UFC career has been fucking, he can beat cans, like Dawkins, Gaziev, Sakai, an old-ass Junior Dos Santos. But every time he gets a real fight, he gets demolished. Francis Ngannou, Thorough Gaan, who is not that good, but can fight at range. Curtis Blades, Alexander Volkov, John Almeida, who's not even that good but can take you down. Rozenstruik just does not have any tools. Like in Tai fight, he tried to fight smarter, and that's why it was boring as fuck. He was scared to fight Tai, but I don't think he's gonna be able to run away this fight because Pavlovich is gonna run him down. So we're gonna find out what happens. Again, Jairzinho, it's pretty much just Derek Lewis light. In the term of he just fights like Derek Lewis. He's just really hard. He's about the same size as Lewis, and he hits really hard like Derek Lewis. And if my fucking comparison's accurate, then Pavlovich should knock him out pretty easily, like he did to Derek Lewis. So we'll see. Interesting fight, and interesting fight for Jairzinho, and we'll see if he can get the win. If 3 in a row would be big for him, like his first good winning streak since his debuts. So, and a win here, he's in the top 5. A lot of things changed in the top 5. He even gets smashed by whoever he fights in the top 5 because he fought all of them and lost, outside of Aspinall, who he's not gonna fight. So, we're gonna find out. Can Biggie Boy pull another rabbit out of his hat? Find out. The betting odds say no, with Sergei Pavlovich minus 300 to plus 240. Yeah, I don't know if I'd have 300, I'd have closer to 250, 260. He should win. I think Pavlovich is better, especially in a firefight. I trust Pavlovich more. He's faster, I think he hits harder, he's quicker. And in a quick firefight, I'm taking Sergei Pavlovich to win that. If the fight extends, I think if the fight makes it to round 2, Jairzinho won. But I don't think the fight's gonna make it to round 2. I think someone's chin is getting clipped and someone's falling on the mat out cold. So, who's it gonna be? I'm going to go Sergei Pavlovich by knockout in the first. It's hard to pick against him here. Again, are you really going to pick against Sergei Pavlovich in a firefight? I know that's what the Aspinall fight was, but that's Tom Aspinall. And Volkov wasn't a firefight. So, it's hard to pick against Sergei. So, give me Sergei Pavlovich by knockout in the first. Someone's going to go down. I'm afraid to say. I think it's a biggie boy. So, let's see what happens. Give me Pavlovich by knockout in the first. Never know though. Someone's gonna go down. It's hard to call a fight where you know someone's just gonna go down really quickly. But Pavlovich has been really good in those type of fights, so give me Sergei by knockout in the first. After that, we go to our co-main event of the evening. A weird ass fight that I don't even know what to think about this fight besides what the fuck's gonna happen, as we have in our co-main event of the evening in the middleweight division. A really intriguing, weird fight between Shara Bullet Magomedov versus Michael Venom Page. Well, we have a striking match here, that's for sure. Unless one of them turns into a fucking wrestler, which neither of them can fucking wrestle, so seems unlikely. Something's gonna happen. I don't know what. I don't even know how to read this fight, to be honest. It's an interesting one. This is Shara's first real test because he's not fighting a goddamn tomato can. This ain't Bruno Silva. This ain't Antonio Tricoli. This ain't Michael Oleszejczyk, who he looked awful against. This ain't Harman Petrosian. This is a real fight. Yeah, MVP is old. Yeah, MVP is not a grappler, but MVP still has all the striking he's had his whole career. Look at the Kevin Holland fight. He is still going to win a striking match. And Shara said he's not going to grapple. We know MVP ain't going to grapple. Something's going to happen here. They're putting these two in a striking match for 15 minutes and nothing's going to land. I don't know about that. I don't even click on the fighters, really. I don't have a lot to say about either besides what I just said. I think Shara's a joke. I've been a wide fucking supporter of Shara Bullet's a fucking joke. In his 4 UFC fights, I thought he looked like a fucking clown. Like, he looked mid as fuck against Bruno Silva. He looked beyond mid versus Antonio Tricoli. He looked awful versus Michael Oleszejczyk. And I'm not impressed with the Arman fight. You knocked out Arman Petrosian, a fucking can. Ooh. His best win has been Bruno Silva. Who's Bruno Silva? Enough said. If he wins this fight in impressive fashion, I'll start giving him his flowers, because MVP is an actual win. But if he wins how he usually wins, which is look like shit and get handed a win, I'm not gonna fucking give this guy praise. I'm not getting and I was excited to see him in the UFC. I was hyped for the Bruno Silva fight. You could fucking look at the breakdown. But since I've been so fucking underwhelmed by this guy. He's not looked good. I don't know how you can look at his first 4 fights against cans and say, oh yeah, this guy's looked great. Dude, he's in the top 15 for beating nobody. Like, come on now, it's fucking stupid. So, again, I'll say on video again, if he looks good against MVP and wins, respect. But if he falls ass backwards into a win like he usually does, fuck him. And if he loses, oh, you're not gonna hear the end of it from me, because I told you, this guy's not him. But, it's only one way to find out. Put him in a cage and see. But, we gotta talk about his opponent before we can do that. So let's do just that. Michael Venom Page. I don't have much to say. We know what MVP is at this point. He's a fucking spectacle to watch. We want to just see him in a striking match, do his fucking dance moves, land some cool shit, get a fun knockout, and that's that. He's not a top contender. He's not a well-rounded fighter. He's a striker. That's it. Yeah, he looked okay against Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's not that good. Yeah, he looked like shit against Ian Gary. They both look like shit, because Ian wanted to fucking badly grapple him. So, he's 37 years old. He got to the UFC too late. 10 years ago. Holy shit, imagine him in the UFC. But in 2025, when a dude's 37 years old, what can you do? I do like him fighting up at middleweight. I think that's a really fucking good thing. Because he's been at welterweight for like most of his career. This is his first middleweight fight since fucking what? Like, I think it's been like 9-10 years since his last middleweight fight. So, it's good to see him at middleweight. Because I think that's been his weight class. Dude's fucking giant. So, let's see. A fucking middleweight, not drained MVP in a striking match? It's gonna be a challenge for Shara. But it seems like beating the lowest level fighter possible is a challenge for Shara, so take that in mind. I don't know. I'm excited for this fight. I think it's super interesting. I really can't get a solid read on it. So, we'll see. The betting odds have Shara Bullet -185. I think he might be 200 by now. I say this is a pick'em. I say a pick'em here, because you got two dudes who can strike going in a striking match. And again, you're telling me something ain't gonna land after in between 15 minutes? Maybe not even a knockout, but something big ain't gonna happen? I don't know about that, man. We're gonna find out. I'm biased. Fuck Shara, give me MVP. And I'll say, all logic points to MVP winning this fight. He's the better fighter. Like, MVP hasn't had struggles with fucking Antonio Trocoli and Michael Olszewski. He would kill those guys in a fucking round. Not even. So, that you gotta factor in them. He's a veteran. He's been in these big fights. Shara hasn't. Shara's been in co-mains versus tomato cans, who he knew he was gonna be going into the fucking cage. I don't think he's confident against MVP. You don't know what MVP's gonna throw, and you're gonna strike with him? Good luck, man. Good luck. I think this should be a pick'em, and I'm gonna pick Michael Venom Page by decision. I don't know if there'll be a finish in this fight. I'll be honest, if there's a finish, I think it's gonna be MVP getting finished, because we have seen him get finished before. But we're gonna find out, aren't we? Give me MVP by decision. I think he's a better fighter, but maybe Shara's gonna finally prove he's legit. Only one way to find out. Only one way to find out. Put him in the cage and see who can dance better. In terms of fighting, we know MVP is a better dancer, but in the fighting terms, let's find out. Give me Michael Venom Page by decision to fraud check Shara fraud. And now, time for our lame event of the evening, staying at middleweight, because it's middleweight night, apparently. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this main event, because I don't give a fuck, I think it's trash. As in our main event of the evening, UFC Saudi Arabia Part 2. We had Whitaker and Ikram. Now we got this as the main event. Let's see if this Let's see if this is as good as Rob and Ikram. And then our main event of the evening on a fucking chill Saturday afternoon, we end UFC Saudi Arabia with Israel, the last style bender Adesanya versus Nasruddin, the sniper Imavov. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste a lot of time on this fight. They're gonna dance around the cage for 25 minutes and do fuck nothing. Yeah, this fight's gonna be boring. You picked two of the most boring fighters in that division and told them to go fight. I wonder what you put two fucking counter strikers into the fucking cage. Good job. Give me Izzy by decision. He's not that washed yet. He looked the best he has in a while against Drakus. Like, the best he has looked since fucking a while. So, he still didn't look great, but he looked decent against Drakus, and if you're looking decent against Drakus, you're gonna wipe the floor for Imavov, who's just not good. So, give me Israel Adesanya by decision. He knows how to do his point fighting. He knows how to dance around a cage better. Imavov's not good. So, give me Izzy by decision. First time I've picked him in a long time. He should win easily. He's, again, not that washed. I hate Izzy, but let's be honest, he's not that washed yet. He's not losing to Nasruddin Imavov, who's ass. So, yeah. Just like the MVP fight, we got two strikers here, and give me the guy who's the better striker, Israel Adesanya, by decision, in a boring main event to end the card. Boom. That was the card to go over my picks one more time. Hamdy Abdelwahab by decision. Bogdan Grad by knockout in the first. Jasmine Jasudavicius by decision. Terrance McKinney by knockout in the first. Shamil Gaziev by decision. Naimov by decision. My lock is a knight. Ziam by decision. Vinicius Oliveira by decision. Sergei Pavlovich by knockout in the first. Michael Venom Page by decision. And Israel Adesanya by decision. Bang. Is it a great card? Not really. It's heavily carried by the main card, because I'd say there are 5, 6, 7, I guess only 4 bad fights, because these 2 are good in the main card. Well, Izzy's a shit fight, so I'd say 4 on the main card, 2 on the prelims. So, Izzy's gonna be boring as shit. I don't care what anyone says, prove me wrong. But, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. This could be fun. This might be fun. And these 2 will be fun. Not really excited for these. Or these. And again, Izzy's gonna be Izzy. That's going to decision, so yeah. It's a card. Better than the Dern Hebos card. Maybe. On paper, yeah, but in execution, we'll see. We'll see our first fight night of the year. Because we have our Apex card, we had our pay-per-view. Now it's time for a fight night. Let's see what happens, man. I'm intrigued. A few things I'm excited for. Like I said, MVP, Oliveira, Pavlovich, fucking McKinney, Jasudavicius. But also some shit I could care less about, so. We'll see what happens in the kingdom on a fine Saturday afternoon / morning. So, yeah. Outside of that, you'll hear me recap this card, and I'll tell you if it was a good card Sunday, like always, and especially since it's an early card, it'll be easy to record a recap after it, because I'll have fucking hours. And, outside of that, man, hope you enjoyed the video. It's good to be back. As little as I care about the bum-ass UFC, I always love breaking down fights for y'all. It's the main thing that makes these cards watchable, because I get to fucking break it down or recap it for y'all. That's just 3 people who watch. Whatever. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, unless I'm forgetting to say something, which I don't think I am, again, you'll hear from me on Sunday for a recap. And unless I'm forgetting to say something, as always, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2025. It's good to be back. And as always, RX out. Good vibes only.